Peace, peace, peace. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Space Invaders TV. This is your guy Rashone, aka Looker. Welcome to the Space Invaders TV channel here on YouTube. Today is August the 30th, 2021. It's Monday, August the 30th, 2021. I want to say peace and blessings to all you guys out there. I want to say, hey, this school year, I want to send my blessings to all the students. I want to send my blessings to the teachers, and I just want to say thank you to the teachers for your service, not just here in Guilford County, but around the globe, because it takes a lot to train the mind to understand some things, especially when maybe some children are deep off into their education now, and they may be used to learning one way. Like 1 year they learned how to do something one way, and then now you have to teach them to do things and to elevate in their mind. I just want to say thank you for the service for all the teachers around the globe, first and foremost. But you know what we here for. I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for months. Okay, so now August the 26th, school just started, right? School just started back, right? So you got issues with your HVAC systems, right? Okay, so you had, on August the 26th, you had Jamestown Elementary, Jamestown Middle School. They were sent home early because, you guessed it, the HVAC system fell. Now we know how the temperatures have been. It's been hot in the 90s, hot. And they're saying, oh, the school reached that 90 degrees, or 85 degrees. No, that's what the degrees are outside. Inside, it's not going to be that. It's going to be higher. You got people in there, you got bodies, that brings more heat, and period. So, no. It was more than 85 inside of the school. If it was 85 inside of the school, you wouldn't need to send the children home. Let's just be correct with that, okay? If it was 85 inside the school, you wouldn't need to send those children home, okay? It's 85 degrees outside. That means it's about 100 inside of the school. If it's 90 degrees inside, it's about 110, 115 inside that school. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Let's stop the crap. You gotta figure that it's a bunch of lights on. It's lights on. It's the electricity is gonna bring heat. Okay, so let's just stop. All right. So then today, Monday, August the 30th, 2021. What do we have again? 2 more schools. We got Smith and Ragsdale sent home at 12:30. I think it was Smith may have been sent home at 12:30 and Ragsdale may have been at 1 o'clock. I don't know which one it was, but they were both sent home early because of that. Now they knew that these HVAC systems, and when I say they, because I want to put it out, and I want to say that I know that the maintenance crews and everything, they've been told these folks about these issues. They've been told the Board of Education about these issues. They've been had work orders up about these issues. The school just started. This just didn't happen. Okay, they've been let Contreras and that board know about the issues in those schools. And they're saying 540 work orders for HVAC systems around the Guilford County within the GCS. Okay, that's 540 that they know of or that they're telling about. Okay, that's just that issue. We ain't talking about the other issues like security issues and all of that needs to be handled technology wise in the schools. Let's just talk about that, okay? But I guarantee you, Contreras, we have never heard of the board. We have never heard of the Board of Ed having problems with their HVAC systems. We never heard of them hearing that their heaters broke or anything like that. That they're sitting in the cold or they're sitting in the heat. We never heard about that with the Board of Ed. We never heard about that with that building. They made sure that, just like they made sure that they upgraded their boardroom with the technology. But we have yet to hear what you have done, Contreras and your board members, what you have done with these schools. And as I said before, I'm gonna tell you again, that exactly one of the main things that just burns me up is that you have board members. These people sit on this board and they play these freaking games, and they have not even stepped into these freaking schools. If they did, then that makes it even worse because you know about the issues. But it's bad that you haven't even been in these schools. You don't even know what's going on. And then when you guys do know, you do nothing about it. Okay, Contreras, you just got $300 million in a bond, okay? Just about a couple of months ago, okay? You got $300 million in a bond, okay, for the school system. You got all, I'm just going to sum it up like this. This year alone, okay? From last year during the COVID, during the height of the COVID in 2020, till now, to this very day, you have exactly $554 million. Contreras, what the heck are you doing with it? Why isn't anything being done? Even the county asked and had to go behind you and check. This is the same thing I've been talking about, people, for months. But yet, you have board members that sat there and they extended her contract to what, 2025 or something? And they gave her all of these praises. She had all of these awards. For what? She hasn't done anything. She's asking for money. She's using the issues, the issues that are at hand with the schools in order to get the money, but she's not doing nothing with the money when she gets the money. She sits there and she plays these freaking games. I bet Contreras' office was nice and cool today. I bet you your office was nice and cool today, wasn't it? While those students sat there in heat. And those are just the kids that you known about. Those are just the two schools. There's going to be more schools. You know, when you have HVAC, when your heating system, and your heating and air system, okay, that's what your HVAC. When your heating and air system is struggling, okay, all it take is a heat wave for your AC to go out. All it's gonna take is some nice cold weather, and bam, that's gonna knock you. That's gonna crack. You're gonna have your heating system, your issues. It's gonna show its ugly head. That's the same thing if you have a vehicle, okay? If you have an older vehicle, okay, when you have an older vehicle, you don't do maintenance issues too. You don't keep the maintenance up on it. That's why every season you should make sure you're changing over make sure your fluids are drained out and all of that things of that nature, because with older model vehicles, you have your thermostat issues. When the weather changes, when you're coming out of the winter into the summertime, and you got an older vehicle, that's when you'll notice your thermostat will go out on you, because now it was already, it moved from one element to another one, and it was already going out. But once you get into those hot months and you need to use that AC, it's gonna burn, it's gonna go on you. When you were using the heat, it was fine. When you needed to use that AC, it's a little more energy. Bang, it's gonna go on you. I've been talking about this for months and months and months. And the thing was just funny to me is because I got, I keep my little notes here and there. What's funny to me is that, was watching Fox, well, I didn't watch Fox. It came through my feed, it came through, I got it in an email. And I'm reading it and I'm just shaking my head, Contreras says, she made a comment, right, today. And she said, when temps reach 85 degrees, we can't break it. And we'll see it this way until the temp breaks, until it reverses when the weather changes. No, we shouldn't see it. You need to break those checks you've been getting, Contreras. Break them checks. Go bust them checks and go get some things done. Okay, they redid your contract, extended your contract for some more years, and you said, and you stood up there and you talked about how you're going to renovate some of the schools. You're gonna build new schools. You got schools right now that need some fixing. Why you ain't starting on that? You know, and you got the maintenance crews talking about they're looking at 540 maintenance 540 maintenance tickets, you know, work orders, actually 540 work orders throughout the Guilford County school system. Now, I can't blame the maintenance people, the maintenance workers. I'm for sure they probably been putting the orders in. They can't do nothing. They don't have control of the money, but you looking at it ain't gonna fix it. You know, if looking at it can fix it, you know, I'll bring my ass over there and look at it and then bang, fix it. You know what I mean? Looking at it ain't gonna fix it. I'm pretty sure if y'all all been looking at it, it ain't fixed yet. You know, you gotta do some manual work. You know, you just can't have HVAC crews coming in there just changing out filters, you know, because see, that's what's been going on. You've been pacifying the situation and y'all ain't really been doing the work. You've been paying these companies to come in and change air filters and crap, and they haven't been fixing, they haven't been doing anything. They've been changing filters. I'm pretty sure at some point, that, you know, because they would love to get that money from you guys. I'm pretty sure that one of those companies, whatever company it is y'all using to go around and change your air filters in these schools, I hope you're changing the air filters in the schools. I'm pretty sure that these companies, or whoever the one company you use, I'm pretty sure that they have told you need to change your HVAC system. You really need to change it. And you just haven't done it. But you keep paying these people. You keep paying them to come change out freaking air filters. You might as you seen them on top of the building if you're a school teacher, if you're if you're in any board, in any faculty staff member, you seen them, especially in the summer months. Especially when the weather starts to break in the springtime and stuff. You seen them. You might see them walking in your hallways. They come around, they just change those air filters out. That's all they doing. They sitting up there shooting shit on top of the building. Meanwhile, this system is old as Methuselah. Dirt. They up there laughing and eating Cheetos, changing out an air filter on a broke ass goddamn HVAC system. Meanwhile, you got people like Contreras and the board members that's sitting in there clicking their heels, in there arguing about God knows what besides what they need to be talking about. And this is just the start of it. Okay? This is just the start of it. And see, there's no ownership and nothing. There's no ownership. They're going to blame the heat on their failing HVAC system. They're going to blame the heat on their failing HVAC system. It's the heat's fault. No, this is just what Mother Nature does. She has her months when she gets hot and then she goes cold. Yeah, this is what Mother Nature do. And it's your job to make sure the maintenance is done, is getting handled. It's your job. See, Contreras, you wanted to up your costs. You wanted to up the money on your spending, your budgets. You know, you wanted to up the money on that, but you ain't doing the work. I'll go back to say the county, Guilford County, the county itself questioned you. Contreras, they questioned you and the board members. They said, we have money up here. Why haven't we seen any work orders come across our desk? We're not going to just give you no money without you producing receipts. Did they or did they not say it? The Rhino Times. The Rhino Times said there. They got the information. I read it. Yeah. And what did you do? Okay, you talking about you're gonna fix this, you're gonna fix that. I'm gonna show y'all just how much. We're gonna go back for any of your new viewers. If you're new, welcome to the page here. Welcome to Space Invaders TV here. We gonna go back for a minute. And remember when I talked to you guys about the 3 schools that was damaged in a tornado in April of 2018. Remember when the tornado that came through Guilford County? It was 3 schools that got damaged. What were they? Irwin Montessori, Hampton Elementary, and Peeler Elementary School, right here in Greensboro. Okay. So, 2019, Guilford County Schools received the check from the insurance company for $10.1 million just for those 3 schools. Google it, look it up, punch in the 3 schools damaged in 2018 in Greensboro. You can just punch that up. And if you don't want to do that, just ride by the schools. Ride by Irwin Montessori in Bessemer, ride by Hampton, and ride by Peeler. Tell me what you see done. Irwin Montessori, I can tell you right now, that school is sitting there just deteriorating. They haven't cut the tree, they haven't cut the grass around that place, they haven't done nothing. That school is just sitting there deteriorating. And you tell me why? Why? That's a brick building. Why? My daughter went to that school, okay? Them kids got transferred to Alamance Elementary. Those kids are still there at that school. All those kids from Peeler and Hampton, they're at different schools. Those kids are still sharing schools. They're still sharing schools with no direction of what's going to happen. And that's why we pulled our daughter out of Alamance, because we said, okay, this is no longer Irwin Montessori. You can hang on to that name and for the funding, you can still get funding for that school. But that school is not really active. You're inside of another school. It's like you might as well let it go. Those kids been there for about, 3 years now? 3 freaking years with no direction, haven't heard anything. And you hear Contreras and her freaking board members, they sit up there and they talk, oh, we're gonna develop and we're gonna fix up we're gonna fix up the schools and we're gonna build new schools. You didn't even do nothing with the $10.1 million that you got in insurance money just for those 3 schools. You haven't done anything. Nothing. She need to be kicked out on her ass. That is why the people of Syracuse, they kicked her out of there. They weren't playing with her. I ain't gonna say they kicked her out. She got up out of there because she knew that the new board members that were coming in were not with her BS. So she got up out of there, and then that's how she came here to Guilford County. But they ain't gonna tell you she wasn't the first. She wasn't even supposed to be here. It was supposed to be someone else. But they moved the other person out and put her here. All because she's an Afro-Latino. And that was supposed to be like historic. That's awesome. But there's a job to do here. You can't be just, you playing around with these children because it's a good look. You brought someone here because it's a good look. And then you're trying to save face, but you're playing the public's face, but you're trying to save face by keep giving this woman accolades for doing what? Let's just understand something. You lost teachers. And you're trying to make it as if, oh, yeah, we're just short teachers. No, you lost teachers. That's it. Nobody's got time for you and your crap. Okay? And first of all, and most of the teachers felt unappreciated. Okay? And then they just start going through the bull crap. You had no real direction as a parent of a child in the Guilford County school system. Last year, you had no real direction. There was no real concrete plans. You didn't have nothing. The school was out majority of the year. That was the perfect time to have the maintenance crews get something started. Pay. You had money. Go pay and get some things started. Get some work started. Granted, you weren't gonna fix all the schools, but at least you can say, hey guys, we at least had 20 HVAC systems put in. We're getting it started. We got a plan. What is your plan? What is your plan? Show us your plan, Contreras. You and the board members. You and your hang-ons, your bootlickers. What is the plan? What is the end game here? Okay? Because you can't keep hiding behind things. What is the end game here? You got $300 million in bond money, right? Okay, that was just like what, 2 months ago. But between last year and this year, in total, from last year alone, you had $254 million. So in total, you have $554 million, lady. Why aren't you guys doing anything with it? I think that's a freaking lot of money for some HVAC system. I mean, hey, at least put up some numbers and say how much to show how much it costs. Don't when there's work to be done, don't people have to, don't companies put a bid in? Don't you put a price at how much you paying for work to be done? And then if a company wants to do it, they put a bid in for it. I'm pretty sure if y'all crunch some numbers and go ahead and throw it out there, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have some people coming to and want to do the job. Why? Because it was slow for everybody. All the businesses has been slow. They would love to get that money. They would love to get that contract with the Guilford County school systems. But why aren't you doing anything about it? You're sitting on your hands and fiddling, bull crapping around, kicking a can down the road. That's what you're doing. And that's what y'all did last year. And there's no more hiding. You're gonna have to show and prove. But y'all looking like clowns right now. Because this same thing was going on. This is what was going on in Syracuse, and they weren't having it up there. They weren't going with the shucking and jiving. They weren't BSing with it. But you got those board members that's sitting there for their own gain. This is all what it looks like when a bunch of people have their own agendas, but they on one accord. But they got their own agendas. The one accord that the board members on and Contreras is, we're gonna act like we're doing something. We're gonna keep kicking the can down the road, and we're gonna blame everybody else, and we're gonna stand here in unity, and we're gonna protect our positions and do nothing for these children. We're gonna protect our position and do nothing for these children. You are to service those children. You're to service the children in this county, and you're not doing it. You're failing. You had a whole year. Plot, plan, and strategize. Plot. Say it with me. Plot, plan, and strategize. You learn this very early in school. Plot, plan, primary in math is a plot, plan, strategize. You learn this. Where is the plotting and the planning and the strategy? Where is it at for these students? But what you're doing is you're plotting your plan against these students. Y'all playing games out there, and that's all this is. It's amazing to me, and I'm just gonna say that I told y'all so, man. I'm just going to say that I told y'all so. I've been talking about this for months. And so it's no surprise to me that what I seen today. And it's just it. And it's going to continue. It's the summer. It's going to be hot. It's going to stay hot. We're in the South. Summers are longer. Okay, it's hot. So what do we do? What is the next move? Because Smith and Ragsdale, what happened with Jamestown Middle School? As any parents out there, your child go there, any teachers there, go drop a comment. I mean, did they fix the issue, or they patched it up? What happened? Smith, Ragsdale, what's going on? You know, what is the next move? You know, because school is tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. But you know what's funny? Before I go and I forget something, Smith was I think they was the only high school within the restart schools. They were one of the restart schools. I think Smith was the only high school that was the restart school. Now, you guys wanted to start school back early. Y'all want to start school back early, but you weren't prepared. It's amazing to me, Contreras, but we know why. We know why you want to start school back early. Then you want to mark these children as restart schools, as they were struggling schools. All of a sudden, why you had to do that, Contreras? Because you have gotten some type of grant money and you had to mark these kids as being behind. But you're doing a great job. But why the children? Why you have restart schools if you're doing so great? Explain that to us. I don't understand how somebody's doing a great job but have issues. If you're doing a great job, why do you have any issues? Now, there are going to be issues. Dealing with a big school district here. You're dealing with a lot of schools in this county here. You're going to have issues. But not like the issues you got. You're getting these accolades for Superintendent of the Year and this and that. How the hell are you getting that? And you got issues within these schools. How? You see, this is what I'm saying. How are you getting these accolades? How are you gaining these things if you have issues? You know why? Y'all trying to paint a picture here. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm coming. I'm kicking it down. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stomp a hole through your fake ass pictures because you ain't doing nothing. And like I said, I'm gonna stay on your head. I'm gonna stay on your head until you do something good. If you do something good, I'm gonna talk about it. If you do something good, you do right, I'm gonna talk right. I'm gonna talk right. But from here on out, only thing I'm saying, I ain't been saying nothing good. Nothing good. Nothing good. She's a waste of man hours. It's a crying shame. So they're gonna blame the bad HVAC systems on the heat, huh? Yeah, that's just what people do that don't want to take ownership. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. All I gotta say is student lives matter, man. That's all. The student lives matter, man. You know, that's all I'm saying, man. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And this is just the start. You can't, when you post to service the people, it's only for so long you could pretend. It's only for so long when you serve the public that you could pretend that you're doing something. And then in this day and age, I don't even understand these folks. In this day and age, with the internet, see, these people still move like we can't see. We can't type their ass up and see what we need to see. They act like, I mean, this is amazing. See, they want to lock the public out of, they want to do a whole vetting process for people coming into the board meetings and stuff like that. There's only but so much you can dictate those things. See, if you had an open door policy, you wouldn't be worrying about that. If you had an open door policy, you'll be open to the people. See, when you are to service the people and then you want to shun and shut the people out, nothing's great's gonna happen, man. These folks, they think, you see, folks like her and some of them board members, they may think they have well, maybe some of them, I'm going to say, they may have certain little degrees and everything of that nature, and they think they're smarter than the average bear. But not this one. Okay? Not this one. I'm on your asses, you know, and I'm tired of it. And I'm just going to keep talking on it and keep talking and keep talking. Because you know what's going to wind up happening with this type of behavior right here. I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. She going to keep on messing up. You let some old schools, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's a lot of them schools with them issues, because just in 2019, 2018, 2019, there were some schools where those students were sitting up in them classrooms and in the heat in the wintertime, and the heating system went out, and the kids were sitting up in them classrooms and it was cold in them damn classrooms, and they didn't say anything. And it came through on the news. It was cycled in the news, and they talked about it, but they talked briefly. They didn't never circle back around and say what happened. Just the same thing with this. They're not going to circle back around and say what's happening. But I'm going to tell you what's happening. Nothing. But it's mighty funny, man. You know, it's mighty funny, man. I talked about this and I said, why did they give this lady, why did they extend her contract? Then to try to make sense of why they extended it, they try to say, oh, because she's been an innovator. She. What has she done for the schools? It's not about her. It's about the job that she's supposed to be doing. And what job has she done? I'm still confused at how she is the secretary to the board. Okay, she's the superintendent of schools, but you're also the secretary to the board. Okay, so you are to do what the board members suggest. You're to adhere to the board members, but it's so weird. I have never seen the employee run the employer. I've never seen none of us have never seen that in our life. You try that. If you're not an entrepreneur, you don't own your own business, and you work for somebody, I dare you go into work tomorrow. Matter of fact, yeah, I dare you go into work tomorrow, and I dare you go in there. Just one day of this, folks. I dare you go on your job. Now, they might let you pass tomorrow doing this, but listen to me and hear me out and listen to me great. I dare you to go into your job tomorrow, right? And I dare you to just tell your manager, because he's going to have to take it upstairs or send emails out to the corporate, wherever your corporate office is. I dare you go on your job tomorrow and you tell your boss, listen, I ain't doing this. I ain't moving this. I ain't doing that. Now, I'm going to do it like this. This is how I'm going to do it. Now, they gave you a handbook when they hired you, and they told you these are the things, or they told you to go online and read their rules and regulations. However they told you, they had rules and regulations of how things are to be done, how they want the job, how you are to conduct yourself and everything, right? So your manager's gonna look at you like you're retarded. Okay? Maybe he's not feeling well. Maybe she's not feeling well. Let you pass. But I guarantee if you go back up in there, just the rest of this week, keep going back in there, keep saying what you ain't going to do, and keep doing it your way. First of all, you might get suspended, because they're going to check the temperature with you. They're going to probably give you a little chance because of what's going on right now today at this time, and how hard it is, they say, to get employees and whatever, to hire new people. They're gonna give you a little slack, right? But by next Monday, you come in there with that, you're out of here. You may be out of there, depending on the type of job you do. You may be out of there just as soon as you do it. You're out. No tolerance. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to understand how a woman like this is a superintendent of schools, and how she's running the employer. She is to adhere to what they say, the board members. But see, they fell into a trap when they gave her the authority last year, and they gave her the reins to do what she wanted to do with spending the money, emergency money, funds. Which I don't know what she spent the emergency money on, because nobody was in the schools. Well, what she didn't do was what she was supposed to do, was some maintenance. Get that maintenance done. And I guarantee, I already know, it's 540 work orders for the Guilford County school system. So therefore, there's the schools that are out there with heating issues and AC issues. I've talked about the heating and HVAC system, but they're not going to tell you. They're not going to report all of those schools. They're not going to report those schools. The local news here is running hand in hand with the board of ed. They're not going to report all of that. They're not going to report all of it. See, if they get calls about it, the board is only going to report what they want to report. And see, they had to report that because the kids coming home from high school, their parents like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing home? What do you mean you going home? What's going on? So they had to try to, how we say, PR work, get ahead and try to run ahead of the bullet and try to, hey, look, it's the heat's fault that the HVAC system went out. That's how they try to make it seem. But I guarantee you, folks, I ain't got to guarantee you, it's 540 work orders. The Guilford County schools said it. The maintenance said it. It's 500. They're looking at 540. I don't know what looking at them is going to do, because if we can look at things and it get fixed, then nothing will be broke. So all I'm saying is, I told y'all so. I told y'all so. That Contreras is a piece of, she's worthless, man. Worthless, man. I don't understand how you's looking at, you got $300 million in bond money. Before the bond money, you had $254 million total. So let's do simple math. What's that? I said $300 million in bond money. You got 254. You had $254 million before that. Now, we gonna talk simple math, not Eureka math either. Simple math. 254 plus 300. What is that? $554 million. Folks, why isn't anything done with these schools? Why? Why haven't we just heard 10 schools getting some work done? 10. She hasn't started anywhere. She hasn't even said anything today like, hey, this is one of the schools, we just didn't get a chance to get to these schools yet. We're working around, we're getting to it, blah, blah, blah. No, nothing, none of that. She says, hey, when the weather, it gets hot, we can't do anything about it. Well, we're going to see this until the weather, breaks, right? No, we shouldn't see that. We shouldn't see this. You should break those checks that are sitting there waiting for you. The county is asked you, hey, why haven't we seen any work orders, no receipts come across our desk so we could pay some people for some work? The county asked you that 2 months ago. Was it 3 months ago? They asked that in June. Okay? June of this year, June of 2021, the county asked that. When you came and asked for more money. You came and asked for more money. And they're like, hey, where is the money that, that we got sent for you? Why isn't anybody coming, and why are we not seeing any receipts so we can pay some people? But then they turned right around anyway, and the county, they turned right around anyway and granted you the $300 million in bond money. So, you ain't doing nothing with that. But that's it, folks. I couldn't let this go. I couldn't let this night go by without saying something about that. It's just amazing. This lady, these board members, they do not have these children in their interest, the best interest. They care nothing. You can't tell me you care about students if you are on the board and you don't even go check up on the schools in your district. You can't even go in the schools in your district, just walk in them. You can't tell me you care about anything going on in these schools if you haven't done that. And then you have a superintendent that is running around here parading around, photo ops, making it look like, just grinning in pictures ain't saying you're doing shit. How about you take a picture, Contreras, with you standing next to some men fixing some HVAC damn systems and standing next to some people bringing in some goddamn new technology in these schools? How about you take some pictures next to the teachers who really fucking teaching, because you ain't teaching nothing. I don't know how you being innovative. They talking about you being innovative. How you innovative? You ain't done nothing. Innovate that money. Motivate some people to do some work for these children in the name of these children in Guilford County. How about that? Because all the shenanigans, all of the kicking the can down the damn road, she's going to kick that can down the road, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Until somebody get a hold of her and kick and be like, enough of this. She's going to keep kicking that can down the road. See, she's going to stay here in Guilford County. I'm going to tell you why. She ain't going to bounce like she did Syracuse. You know why? She ain't going to bounce because her track record's bad. She's going to have to show improvement. So she ain't just going to bounce. Let's just be clear on that. And another reason why she ain't going to bounce, because she ain't get the Secretary of Education with the Biden administration that she was trying to get. So she ain't really going to bounce. That was her out right there. She ain't get it. She's not getting out of here. She's going to stay here and she's going to burn the midnight oil. That's all she's going to do. She's going to sit here and burn the clock like she's been doing. Burning the clock in her cool office while the students sit in these hot-ass classrooms and these cold-ass classrooms while she sits in the office and the rest of them at the Board of Ed sitting in a warm building when it's cold, in a cool building when it's hot. They have no HVAC systems. We haven't heard of no HVAC issues in the Board of Ed building. But we ain't hear about no school work, none of them 540 work orders being handled with the schools. But we heard that the Board of Ed, they got an upgrade on their boardroom and the board members and everything. They upgraded their boardroom. They upgraded the technology and the look of their boardroom, but they ain't touch a damn break room in none of them old ass schools out here though. You ain't touch a break room or a fucking cafeteria in these old schools out here, huh? These 50 plus year old schools out here, huh? Yeah. It's alright though, but she gonna keep kicking the can down the road. It's amazing, man. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. She gonna keep messing around, and the state gonna come take over these schools. I'm telling you, the state gonna take over these schools, and they gonna do it. And then you gonna hear them hanger-ons trying to make the people think that the state doing something wrong. No, don't think they ain't watching. The state is the big brother. Don't think big brother ain't watching. Don't think they ain't watching. I tell you, when they swoop in and they start, they take one. They come in and they might take a few schools in High Point. Then they gonna come in and they gonna take a few schools in Greensboro. That's just gonna be the first. First of all, when they come take one school, we better watch out. And I believe it's underway, Jack, because all of that money's sitting there. And I'm gonna tell you, when the state get their hand on that money, you're gonna see some things getting done then. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep saying the pattern. They're gonna keep saying a pattern here. You got superintendents coming and nothing is being done. These kids are struggling. These school systems, these schools need work done. You know what I mean? They're gonna come swoop in. I'm telling you. So, don't say I ain't tell y'all, man. Bless you, guy. I'm Rashone, aka Looker. Thanks for watching Space Invaders TV here on YouTube. Make sure y'all tell a friend about the channel here. We talk about various issues here, local, national, world issues, you know. But as I said before in the past, I've been compelled to just, as a parent of a child in Guilford County school system, I've been compelled to really talk and shed some light on some issues here. And as parents, open your eyes, open your mind, wake up, look what's in front of you. It's not all about just sending your kid to school because there's a place to go. We got to pay attention to these people that are pushing the buttons. You know, a lot of people, we talk about presidents and things of that nature, but we got a lot of local issues going on, politics going on, a lot of issues that affect us as people that we let run our systems, and these people care nothing about. All they want to do is line their pockets and line their self up. You know, but when you supposed to be taking care of the public, when you work for the public, when you're a public servant, you're supposed to serve the public. And that's not the other way around. The public is not supposed to serve you. You're supposed to serve the public. And that is something that seems to be a lost art with many of these folks around here. Is that they're trying to set themselves up for whatever. But what everybody fails to realize is, if you don't do a good job here, where you think you're going? You think you're gonna go to another big county somewhere around this country? Hell no. But this county accepting screw ups like her. She comes from Syracuse. There's no reason why this lady should be here. What has she done? You look it up and you don't see nothing she done when you look up her as superintendent in Syracuse, New York. Okay? She didn't do anything. She had schools that were struggling within that district. In her district there, she had schools struggling. What did she do? Nothing. She ran on them. She didn't even finish out her contract. She got up out of there because she knew that the new board members that were coming in were not rocking with her. They weren't happy. The people weren't pleased with her. The teachers weren't pleased with her. She had a bad report card. And she winded up here. And I'd be a fool to not say, I know how she probably winded up here. She's in a sorority, and we know how that works, okay? Nobody caring about these children. Everybody keep trying to play this game as if she's doing something. Nobody's blind, man. What has she done? So we're not gonna. So they're gonna say, "Oh, what you gonna say? Oh, you can't blame her for the heat. We can't blame her for that." Well, we haven't heard of a superintendent for Guilford County getting and requesting so much money as she has, and gained so much money as she had, and haven't done anything with it. That's all I'm saying. She's faking the funk, as we say. You're faking the funk. You're asking for something, but you're not doing nothing with it. You're trying to make it seem like you're asking, and you're like, oh, I asked for it. You asked for it, but you didn't do nothing with it. Why are you wasting your time? But you're wasting your time because you're trying to get a good look like, hey, I acquired this. So when you move on, or if you're able to move on, you're going to use that. But you didn't do nothing with it, though. But you're going to use that as a tool. You know what I mean? As one of your bargain tools, like, yeah, I acquired this amount of money for Guilford County schools in my whole time that I was there. But what the fuck have you done with it? That's the difference. See, that's what you're forgetting, that they're gonna want to see. Okay, well, how many of them schools got fixed? Or what did you do with those schools? How many schools have you fixed? How many schools have you got straight with that money? You forgetting they're gonna want to see a breakdown on that. You just ain't gonna be able to stand there and say you acquired this much money, but what are results at? What were the results? Okay. You had $10.1 million. I'm trying to figure out if you can do right with $10.1 million from 3 schools, okay? That for 3 schools, and I thought like you could have done something. You could, with that $10.1 million, you could have got at least 2 of them schools back up and running, okay? But no, the schools, Hampton, Peeler, and Irwin Montessori, all 3 of those schools, those children are still sharing schools with someone else. Those students are still misplaced, and that's what people have totally forgot. Those students are still misplaced, and they don't even talk about that. You have people, and this is no BS. You can just ride by Irwin Montessori. There was a church damage next to the school, and there was a house damage. Those 2 properties have been rehabilitated, and they look great. That school is the sore eye sitting next to those houses and that church. Irwin Montessori is the sore eye sitting next to that church and that house. No work. They haven't even cut the grass. So don't even talk about Hampton and Peeler. See, you can't really see Hampton because it's tucked away. But go take a ride over there. Go take a ride and look at them. I did. Go take a ride and look. Okay? This lady ain't done nothing. You ain't done nothing with $10.1 million for 3 schools. So how the heck you gonna do something with $554 million? You can't even do nothing but $10.1 million. That's all I'm saying, folks. That's all I'm saying. Simple math. It's not Eureka math either. Simple math. Okay? And common sense. Everybody just gotta open your eyes and pay attention. Look who we dealing with here, these type of folks, man. As I said earlier before, they come in, people like this come into our communities and they care nothing about. They faking the funk and keep playing this game like, oh, she cares about the children. If you care about the children, then you'll be really putting your foot down, Contreras, and you'll be really making some things shake and bake around here. You wouldn't made a stupid comment about, oh yeah, we can't do nothing about it when the heat raises in the schools. We're gonna continue to see this until the heat breaks. Who says something stupid as that? So you have no fucking plan, huh? You asking for all this money and you have no plan, huh? Yeah, that's what that said to me. That was just clear. Thank you. Thank you. That's why you don't hear her talk so much, because she ain't really got much to say. All she gonna do is put a foot in her mouth. You know what I mean? Because she can't say much. I watched the lady when the schools, a year later after, the schools were displaced. I sat there and listened to her and watched her in the church, and I seen that this lady do nothing. She's looking at her assistant to give her the answers, to bail her out of questions that the parents were asking her as a superintendent. She's looking at, Contreras is looking at her. She was looking at her assistant or whoever this lady was at the time. I don't know. She was looking at her to bail her out of questions that us as parents were asking her. She had no real answers. No real answers. Yeah, they moved swiftly in getting the kids and moving them and putting them in a school because they had to. It was in their best interest. They had to move. So they moved fast and done that. But they put them there and left their children there. And they're still freaking there. And they're still getting funding for these schools, for Peeler, Hampton, and Irwin Montessori. They're getting funding for these schools, but the schools are not even really active. But that's it for me, man. I'm your guy, Rashone. This is Space Invaders TV. Thank you for watching. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Okay? Share it. I'm out.